Hello and welcome to this, the 20th of Ovid's Heroides, the penultimate letter from Acontius to Cydippe. This isn't a particularly well-known bit of Greek myth, so don't feel bad if you don't know it. Acontius is writing to Cydippe. Cydippe is lying ill with her fiancé, so you might think that she doesn't really need a letter from some guy, and you'd have an excellent point. Acontius believes that he has a claim on Cydippe because he saw her at the temple of Diana. Artemis, if you prefer, and he was infatuated by her beauty. So he rolled an apple out in front of her, which she picked up. She read aloud the words which he had carved into the side of the apple, a bit like writing it into a desk when you're at school, perhaps. My opinion of Acontius starts low and gets lower, I'm warning you now. She reads aloud the message that he's inscribed into this apple, which says, "I promise to marry Acontius." He is calling this an actual contract of marriage, which she has gone into willingly, even though it's clearly a trick. And he is holding her to it, even though she's engaged, betrothed by her father, to a man she would actually like to be married to. I just can't really begin to express the level of contempt I have for somebody who performs this kind of trick. Let's bear in mind that I've now said those words aloud, so I am now probably engaged to him. It's like saying the name Candyman into the mirror 3 times. But there we are. He is now delivering what we might best describe as a letter which is a sort of masterclass of passive-aggressive narcissism, and therefore I suggest that whether or not you enjoy this poem, you just cut out and keep this video as advice on who to avoid as a future partner. It would be so useful for you. So, line 4, let's start as we mean to go on. He says, "You feeling any pain," to the woman to whom he has caused pain. "You feeling any pain pains me." Do you see how he's immediately, it's line 4 made it all about him. Honestly, you're going to be impressed that I can find more contempt than I've already got, but I promise you, we're going there. Line 7, he says, "I just want you to keep your vow. It's not a crime." It's not a crime, Acontius, but it is trickery of the lowest order, which you're going to admit in a minute because you can't really avoid it. Line 9, he cheerfully admits to the apple trick. He goes on to use the word fraus, fraude, fraud, in other words, deceit. He uses it repeatedly to describe his action. This was a fraud. He's not pretending. Well, he is pretending, but he's at least admitting to the fact that he has acted fraudulently in order to try and trap Cydippe. He'll consistently use the language of hunting, a hunter and quarry, through this poem, in order to make it clear that he sees himself as pursuing her, that he's the predator and she is the prey. I honestly, if you have this man in your life at any level, in any format, don't walk, run. I can't emphasize it enough. "I'm not sneaky by nature or practice," he says, line 25. "You've made me like this." What's that, Acontius? Not taking responsibility for your own decisions? Of course you aren't. And anyway, he says, just in case we thought he might have a soupçon of responsibility for his own decisions, it was love, Amor, the god of love, who tied you to me. Was it? Was it really? "If I'm hurting you," he says, line 35, "by loving you, well, I'll hurt you without limit." You really are a keeper, aren't you? Line 39 to 40, "I hope the gods give me more knots," he says, "so I can tie you up more tightly." Well, that sounds like a fun night in, Acontius, with someone other than you. "You can't escape all of love's traps," he says, line 45, 46. Ratiar, traps, snares, nets. He is using the actual language that a hunter would use to describe how he traps his quarry. "If tricks don't work," line 48, "he'd be happy to use force." Ah, here we go. This is the one that we were hoping to find. Line 52 and following, "It's all your fault, Cydippe," he says, "because you're so pretty." Oh, I thought it might be her fault. I'm so glad we've sorted this out. He obviously is obsessed with her beauty. Line 57, he speaks of her beautiful ivory throat. Yeah, that's what a woman wants to hear about from a man she already clearly finds creepy, mate. Line 65, 66, "I admit it," he says, "you were ambushed by me." Yeah, she really was, you freak, so just leave her alone. "I know I'm the one who's made you angry," he says, line 74. "Let me make you feel better." Oh, that sounds like a tremendous relationship in which you antagonise her and then try it. Wait, what now? Why are you running? All the reasons. I Don't need you to put me in chains, he says, because love is what binds me to you. You'll see what I'll put up with, he says. I'll be your perfect slave. And then tam bene quisa wit serviat iste mihi. A slave that good can be my slave, is what you'll say. Yeah, sure she will, mate. As soon as she's boarded up the door, moved house, killed everyone who knows where she is, etc. Line 96, if you don't want to keep your vow to me, you should at least keep it to the goddess, he says. Ah, yes, bringing the gods in on your side. 109, 110, you're ill, he says, because you're disobeying that goddess. So he feels that because this vow was read aloud in the temple of Artemis of Diana, that means it would be blasphemy for Cydippe to break it. And he's relying on that and relying on the goddess, who, let's be fair, has form for being irrationally angry and horrible, to sustain that the worldview. Just keep your vow safe, 112, and you'll be safe. Is this sounding a little bit like, that's a nice ex, it would be a shame if anything happened to it, like a mafia enforcer? Yes it is, just a little bit, yes. Get well, he says, line 118, so I can enjoy you. Oh, you are the gift that keeps on giving, Acontius. Acontius by name, oh my God. 125, he says, I feel kind of bad that I'm the cause of your injury. Do you? You should feel bad. And then he goes on to explain that he is hanging round outside her door, line 129, quizzing the servants about how she is. Some people, mate, might call that stalking, and I would be quite near the front of the queue of people calling it stalking, because it's stalking. Line 138, he is angry that he's with her actual fiancé. He calls him hated by me and hated by the gods. Yeah, definitely conflate things you like and don't like with things the gods approve and don't approve of. That never will go any way badly in the whole history of humanity. Keep that up. The breast that he is touching, he says, referring to Cydipe's actual fiancé, and obviously perversely imagining what they're doing together. The breasts that he is touching are mine, the kisses that he takes are mine. Are they? Are they, Acontius? Or are you being a little bit creepy and possessive? Oh, do you know, I think I know this one. It's the second. Yes, 156, he says, Cydipe's father had promised her to the other guy, but Cydipe swore that she would marry Acontius by the gods. So that's a more important commitment, quite aside from the fact that it was deceitful, obtained by deceit. It doesn't seem to really bother him. The fact that the gods witnessed it is what really counts as far as he's concerned. So he, 173, goes on to blame the other guy for making her ill. Yeah, it's definitely his fault, other guy, whose name I'm afraid we don't know, or if we do know, it's not in this poem, so, and I haven't bothered to look it up, is what I'm telling you. It's number 20, we're nearly at the end, I haven't got the energy, I do, I promise, and I love you all. He says, tell everything to your mum. Tell her what's happened, line 201. Tell her how I stared at you like a crazy person. Yeah, that's definitely going to win her over. I can't imagine that's what you're bringing up. Oh, line 215. And then she'll definitely tell you to marry me. Mate, have you met mums? My mum would hunt you down and kill you with her bare hands for this kind of behaviour. And she's over 70. So definitely aim for that. Let's hope Cydipe's mum steps up in the next letter. Did I mention I was rich, he says, 227. Yeah, you sound privileged, not gonna lie. Our health is bound together, he says, 233. If you're ill, I'm ill. Yeah, because it's all about you, isn't it? Oh my God, I did warn you I couldn't hate him more. No, wait, I've got one last bit. He says, I don't want to wear you out. This is the very last bit, 241. I don't want to wear you out with a long letter when you're so ill, so I'll just say goodbye. And that's how the poem ends. Mate, you've sent a 242-line poem. You do want to wear her. I literally can't bear him. Next week we'll have Cydipe's response to Acontius, which I have to tell you is quite a lot longer than my response would have been, but you can't always be lucky. I'll see you next week. Till then, bye for now.